You are driving to work. It is a normal Tuesday. Your insurance expired yesterday at midnight. You forgot to renew. You are not worried. It is just one day. You will renew tonight. What could possibly happen in 24 hours? Here is what can happen. A deer runs in front of your car. You swerve and hit a guardrail. $15,000 in damage. Your insurance company says, sorry, your policy lapsed yesterday. You pay every penny. Or worse, you hit another car. Someone gets hurt. Medical bills hit $100,000. You are personally responsible. Your license gets suspended. Your car gets impounded. And that one-day lapse ends up costing you more than 5 years of insurance premiums. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what happens when your car insurance lapses for even one day. I will break down the financial penalties, the legal consequences, and the hidden insurance score damage that follows you for years. And I will give you a step-by-step emergency plan if you are currently driving with a lapsed policy or about to let one lapse. Let me start with the most dangerous myth in car insurance. Many drivers believe there is a grace period. They think if you are just a day or two late, the insurance company will still cover you. That is false in almost every state and province. Insurance policies are legal contracts with specific start and end dates. When that end date passes, you have zero coverage. Zero. Not reduced coverage. Not a warning. Nothing. There is no legal grace period for liability in most jurisdictions. Some insurers offer a courtesy grace period for payment, meaning they will not cancel your policy for non-payment for 10 to 30 days. But if you have an accident on day 2 of that grace period, they can still deny your claim because your coverage technically lapsed. Never assume you are covered. Now let me break this into 3 segments. The first segment covers the immediate consequences of a one-day lapse. The second segment covers the long-term damage to your insurance record. The third segment covers what to do right now if your policy has lapsed or is about to lapse. Segment 1. The immediate consequences. If you drive even 1 minute after your policy expires, you are driving illegally in most U.S. states, all Canadian provinces, and the UK. Police scanners can check your insurance status instantly. If you get pulled over, you face fines from $200 to over $1,000. In New York, driving without insurance carries a minimum fine of $150 and a license suspension. In Ontario, fines start at $5,000 for a first offense. In the UK, you face a fixed penalty of £300 and 6 penalty points. Your car can be seized and impounded. Impound fees run $200 to $500 per day. If you cause an accident during a lapse, the financial consequences are catastrophic. You are personally liable for all damages. A minor fender bender can cost $3,000 to $5,000. A serious accident can cost $50,000 to $500,000. Your assets can be seized. Your wages can be garnished. You can be sued into bankruptcy. This is not a scare tactic. This is real. I have spoken to drivers who lost their homes because they let their insurance lapse for 2 days and caused an accident. Even if you do not drive during the lapse, the damage is already done. Your insurance company will report the lapse to your state DMV or provincial equivalent. Many states automatically suspend your registration and license after a lapse of 30 days, but some states act faster. In California, your registration can be suspended after just 1 day of no insurance. You then pay reinstatement fees, sometimes hundreds of dollars. Segment 2. The long-term damage to your insurance record. This is the part that hurts for years. Insurance companies share claims and policy data through a database called Clue in the US and similar systems in Canada and the UK. A lapse in coverage, even for 1 day, goes on your record. You become what insurers call a high-risk driver. Your rates will increase by 30 to 60% on average after a lapse. That increase lasts for 3 to 5 years. Even if you have a perfect driving record, here is a real example. A driver in Florida named David let his policy lapse for 48 hours because he was traveling and forgot to pay online. He had a clean record for 15 years. When he came back, his insurer reinstated his policy, but at a 50% higher rate. He shopped around. Every company quoted him higher rates because of the lapse. He went from paying $120 per month to $190 per month. That is an extra $70 per month, $840 per year. Over 3 years, that single 2-day lapse cost him over $2,500, and he did not even have an accident. In the UK, a lapse in insurance is recorded on the motor insurance database. Insurers see it for 5 years. Your premiums can increase by 20 to 40%. You may also be required to pay your annual premium in full upfront instead of monthly, because you are now considered a credit risk. In Canada, a lapse triggers a similar rate increase. Some provinces also require you to file an SR-22 or equivalent proof of financial responsibility, which carries additional fees. The lapse stays on your Auto Plus report for up to 6 years. Now here is the pattern interrupt that most agents will never tell you. Even if your policy lapses for 1 day and you do not drive at all, you still lose something called continuous insurance history. Insurance companies love drivers who have been insured for 5 years or more without a gap. That continuous history qualifies you for loyalty discounts and preferred rates. A single 1-day lapse resets that clock. You go from a 5-year continuous customer to a 0-year customer overnight. That alone can cost you 15 to 25% on your next policy. Segment 3. What to do right now if your policy has lapsed or is about to lapse. First, if you are currently driving with a lapsed policy, stop driving immediately. Do not drive 1 more mile. Call your current insurer and ask for reinstatement. Some insurers allow reinstatement within 30 days without a gap in coverage, but you must pay all back premiums plus a late fee. If they say yes, pay over the phone right then. Get a confirmation number. Do not hang up until you have proof of coverage. Second, if your insurer refuses to reinstate, you need a new policy immediately. Go online to any non-standard carrier like the General or Bristol West in the US, PAFCO in Canada, or Admiral in the UK. Be honest about the lapse. They will charge a higher rate, but it is far cheaper than driving without insurance. Get the policy effective today. Print your proof of insurance. Third, after you have coverage again, ask every insurer about lapse forgiveness. Some companies, like Progressive and Travelers, offer a one-time forgiveness for a lapse of less than 30 days if you have been with them for a certain period. You have to ask. They will not offer it automatically. Fourth, prevent future lapses with automation. Set your insurance to auto-pay on a credit card that you check regularly. Set calendar reminders 1 week and 1 day before your renewal date. Even better, align all your policies car, home, life to renew in the same month so you cannot forget. Let me give you an emergency script if you are currently in a lapse. Call your insurer and say these exact words. My policy lapsed unintentionally. I have not driven the vehicle during the lapse. Can I reinstate my policy retroactively to the lapse date without a gap in coverage? Some insurers will backdate reinstatement if you swear you did not drive. That is legal and common. Always try this first. If you have already driven during the lapse, do not lie. Lying about driving is fraud. It can void any future claim and get your policy canceled permanently. Just accept the lapse and get a new policy. Now let me address the one exception where a lapse is not your fault. If your insurance company cancels your policy for non-payment, but you have proof that you paid on time, that is an error on their part. Demand a corrected record. If they refuse, file a complaint with your state insurance commissioner or provincial regulator. You can also dispute the lapse on your CLUE report. But this only works if you have proof of on-time payment. Let me also address the difference between a cancellation for non-payment and a simple lapse. A non-payment cancellation is worse. It tells future insurers that you failed to pay your bills. That can lead to even higher rates and some companies refusing to insure you at all. Always cancel your policy properly if you want to switch companies. Do not just stop paying. Finally, let me talk about the one scenario where a lapse might be intentional, and that is selling your car. If you sell your car and do not buy another one immediately, you should cancel your insurance properly. That is not a lapse. That is a planned gap with no vehicle. As long as you have no car, you do not need insurance. The problem is when you own a registered vehicle and do not insure it. That is the lapse. Let me recap the key takeaways. Number 1, there is no grace period for coverage. 1 day without insurance means zero protection. Number 2, driving during a lapse is illegal. You face fines, license suspension, and impound fees. Number 3, an accident during a lapse can bankrupt you. You are personally liable for all damages. Number 4, even without an accident, a lapse raises your future premiums by 30 to 60% for 3 to 5 years. Number 5, a 1-day lapse resets your continuous insurance history, costing you loyalty discounts. Number 6, if your policy lapses, stop driving immediately to ask for retroactive reinstatement. Number 7, if they refuse, get a new policy with a non-standard insurer today. Number 8, set up auto-pay and calendar reminders to never let it happen again. Here is what I want you to do right now. Check your car insurance expiration date. It is on your insurance card or in your app. If it expires in the next 7 days, set a payment or calendar reminder today. Do not assume you will remember. If you let it lapse even for 1 day, you will regret it for years. If this video saved you from making an expensive mistake, hit the like button. It helps other drivers avoid the same trap. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss my next video. That video is called The One Call That Can Remove a Lapse from Your Insurance Record Forever. And comment below. Have you ever let your insurance lapse by accident? Share what happened and how much it cost you. I read every comment. Thanks for watching. Now, go check your expiration date. See you in the next one.